You are now tuned in to The Money Zone with your host, Folasade, the accountant for entrepreneurs. The time is now, your future waits, your money matters, make no mistake, it's not too late to dominate, so don't delay, get your money straight. The money zone, together we'll achieve your goals, we're building wealth, you're not alone, so don't delay, get your money straight.
Hey guys, welcome. It's your girl Folasade, the accountability accountant, guys. I am so excited to be here with you guys. It's been like what? We or 4 weeks since you guys see each other, and it's just a lot of happening fast. From riots to the Black Lives Matter movement to the union to the pastors, the scammers, the plagiarism. God, like, since we have been seeing each other in a month, I tell you that we cut all of the mess that has happened since I video shows the guys that we're going to talk about stuff today. So if you don't know, today's segment we're going to be talking about the Black Lives Matter movement, but we're going to be talking about your black dollar matters. Yes, your life matters the most. However, the impact that we need to make is in terms of the dollars. And then we're going to talk about plagiarism, fakes, frauds, and phonies, guys. So if you are an entrepreneur, small business owner, and you are in the loop, if you are an activist and you support the Black Lives Matter movement, then you want to tune in. So I ask you one favor. If you guys can just share the video with your girlfriend, at them, do something. You see the video on your live stream, share the video, pull your libations, and let's go ahead on and get this show started. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick little break, and then we'll be right back. Okay, guys. So look, a lot has transpired since we have departed ways, right? So first of all, we have the Black Lives Matter movement that has basically taken over the wave due to, give me one second, due to all of the Black lives that have been killed or taken away or destroyed due to police brutality. So that's great and all, right? Black lives do matter. I'm Black, my life matter, my family lives matter. However, the Black Lives Movement right now is actually hindering the reparations claim that was being made prior to the riots, the protesting, and the death of George Floyd, okay? So why am I talking about the black dollar matter? Why am I talking about the black dollar matter? Because in all actuality, I had saw a post on Instagram, and I cannot say where I got it from simply because I forgot. I should have taken a screenshot of it, guys, and showed you all here on the show tonight. But a gentleman posted up on his Instagram, and he was like, "Oh, if more Black people had help life insurance, had $1 million life insurance policies, then guess what? We wouldn't have to be fighting for police brutality." Because guess what? The insurance company would be fighting for. And you know what? That post, whoever said that, I put it on tonight. So that post is real key. Not on the Black life, your life, my life, your cousin life, the nephew, the youth, that's our lives only more significant, small things, okay? However, if they value our lives, if they do value our lives, and with life insurance and everything else, then that's what happens. They force the people to end up calling their lobbyists and their collectors, their politicians, and their politicians going to call the committee, the constituents of your county and for your state, and then they're going to be like, hey, I don't know what the hell is going on in your town. However, it's costing my county millions and millions of dollars. You got to put a muzzle, you got to put a muzzle in the police. Okay? So right there in all actuality, that's what we think. I've always been an advocate for the Black lives. This is why I'm here. This is why I started last year and 5 years ago. And this is why I made it my life passion to make impact in African American and in. And what I realized is that I don't care who have this Black Lives Matter movement popping off right now, and it seems like it's been in all the practice, that is not the solution that we need right now that can solve the majority of Black America or African American problems. Our problems will only be solved economically. Economically is how we save our community. Because before we had $1 million life insurance policy, Brianna Taylor had $1 million life insurance policy. The Alton had $1 million policy. Right now, in 2 months, we have transferred the insurance companies have lost $3 million. You don't think they'll be calling the county and the state. You don't think they would have reached out to their lobbyists or whoever their middleman is to get all these laws and passed on their behalf. You don't think they would have been calling them up. So right now, instead of just focusing on only the police brutality that we face with, we need to focus on studying the sooner and showing that our Black dollar matters. The moment that we show that we're in control over our Black dollar is the moment that we get control over the systemic racism that we're facing. That will be the moment that we will be able to settle and dissolve a lot of this police brutality. We will also be able to solve a lot of the backdoor discrimination, okay, that we face, that a lot of privileged individuals do not want to admit that it's actually occurring. This is why the average Black person cannot get to the level that an average white person can get to, even if they have the same or more skill set or degrees or
collegiate background. However, if we focus on our dollar, and I'm going to show you guys what I mean. It is serious. So the social year, according to the social year,
According to the Census Bureau, okay, the average median household income as of 2017 for Blacks in America was $40,258. We have the lowest median household income in the United States, and we've had the lowest since since forever, basically. Okay, so the chart says 1959. From day one, you know, a lot of data was not recorded in those years and, you know, tracked. So the data started around 1965. That's where they started to measure the median household income between different races and stuff. And as you can clearly see, based on the chart on my screen, African Americans, Blacks, median income is $40,000. Hispanics, $50,486. Okay. Whites, $68,145, and Asians, $81,331. So automatically, we're already at the lowest totem pole. But this is the issue. It's not about what we make. It's about what we're spending. Our control, our black dollar matters so much that the Nielsen report, and I
told you guys this is before all the numbers. I spoke about 4 or 5 months ago when we first came to the video, when I was giving you all the different strategies pertaining to marketing and everything else. So the next thing is that they do a annual review of marketing and everything, okay? And so they did a study on the black dollar. And so as you can clearly see in the 50-year chart, that only makes it average of $40,000. But if you zoom into this chart that I have here, right? The Nielsen said that our average household expenditure is $43,117. So there basically said if you connect the dots between the two different statistical reports, the monthly data report, monthly data report, and the census median household income report, the average black household is spending over $3,000 more than what they make each year. And so if you guys don't know, the credit card debt amount is in the upwards of like $13.6 trillion. And if you think about it, we have a large amount of the credit card debt. So this is all of this has to do with the debt card. That's what I know you guys are saying. If you can't, you have to do it out of money. Because you have to do it out of money. They're saying that other residents are 48.7 million debt. And if our median income is $40,000 a year, okay, and but we spend $33,000 a year, our control is the amount of consumption that we make in society. We consume a lot, not okay? And it hasn't been significant studies that reveal why African Americans spend so much. But if we want to gain control, this is a time when we now step up and say, you know what, hey, I'm not buying from you if you don't support our community. I'm not doing this. We are not doing this. This is time where actually, if you notice, there is so much control. Every company now is talking about they're creating some type of initiative, or they're creating some type of program for the African American community, or some type of grant, or something. Not every company, but the majority of the companies are now shifting to address and better understand us
and really start to hopefully be allies of our community and help us. However, we can help ourselves if we gain control over our buying power. So I'm just going to read you guys just a little brief snippet of what it says on the Nelson Report. It says the Black buying power continues to grow, rising from 320 billion in 1990 to 1.3 trillion in 2018. Between 2000
and 2018. Black buying power rose 114% compared with an 89% increase in rent. Let me go back to the next one. African American buying power. Texas now tops the nation in buying power for African Americans, population, along with population. Along with Texas led the nation in jobs gained in 2018, and African Americans appear to have followed those opportunities into the state. Nationally, the number of Black Americans in the labor force is projected to increase from 19.6 million in 2016 to 21.6 million in 2022. These reported gross employment numbers are
100% inaccurate. Okay, we're not looking at the employment numbers. We're looking at the annual household income and our expenses. So this is what they say about us. The average annual household expenditure for Black households is $43,117,000. They overspend the general market on housing. And the reason why we overspend on housing is because we always wanted bigger, better, or our credit is worse. So we're paying, higher amounts for our mortgages and things. Apparel for our clothing, for our cars, they have transportation, personal care products, and TV, radio, and sound equipment as a percentage of their household expenditures. Total expenditures trail the general market, but that gap is narrowing as unemployment decreases and education rates rise. Population growth increasing, education attainment rates, and a larger percentage of Blacks in the workforce are all contributing factors to the increase in buying power in the African American community. So it's basically telling you that due to we're having babies and our population growing and us acquiring higher education, now allows us to be more consumers. Okay, so here were the quick takeaways that I want you guys to see, that this is the data that they're looking at, and they're telling different companies. The Nielsen report is used by almost every Fortune 500 to the smallest companies on the pedestal, and this data was put out so they can begin to leverage their marketing to acquire our Black dollar. And so right
now, they're doing that. And the comments that we're in that area, we are 100% in control. So we go to say, what? What you Amazon, we don't want to back them in, and we do it as a whole for a long, long period of time, longer than 1 day, longer than 7 days, actually longer than 6 months. Okay, my recommendation is at a minimum for 1 year, then we will be able to make an impact. So here's the takeaways for basically this. Black Americans are a significant and rapidly growing population in the U.S., estimated at 47.8 million people in 2018, and expected to grow 32% to over 60 million by 2060. Black Americans are also among the youngest. 28% of Blacks are under 18 compared to 23% of all Americans. The percentage of African American high school graduates, the Black buying power continues to grow.
From 320 billion in 1990 to 1.3 trillion in 2018. So the issue is this: everybody want a piece of that 1.3 trillion Every company wants a piece of that $1.3 trillion that we spend annually without even thinking about it. And this is what gets scary, is that if we don't control how we spend the Black dollar, then we will never be in control of anything in this country. We will never have the clout, the backing that we need. So, for example, the LBGTQ, they ended up getting some of their laws passed yesterday. However, they broke out. They're now separating the African Americans, the Blacks. So that means each little segmented group is getting something, but the African American community as a whole isn't. And this is what we get. We get companies that are preying on our spending. We get companies that invest into our celebrities and our influencers just to get us to buy from them. However, if we tell them that that's no longer accepted, that we're not going to accept you giving P. Diddy Ciroc and we're buying all of Ciroc. We're not going to accept you giving everybody all of the Fashion Nova partners or whatever, their little cut, and we're going to continue buying. If we shut down that access to that $1.3 million, they will stop killing our people. They will stop the backdoor discrimination. They will stop all of the appropriation of everything that they're taking from us, okay? Simply because they'll realize that we are astute to their issues or to their game, and we know the real deal, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to put precautions up. We're going to put layers up. We're going to ask you to do specific things. And think about it like this. When I was in university, it was always this term called social responsibility. Each corporation is supposed to have social responsibility. So that means they set aside between 10 and 20 something percent. Each company is different now. 10 to 20 something percent a year that they're going to use for all of their initiative. That may be to set up shelters or to do food drives or to give to the Red Cross or whatever that they need to do. If you notice, they're not coming into our communities. However, they're the ones that's benefiting from our $1.3 trillion. So it's time that we say, you know what? We're keeping our $1.3 trillion. If you do not redirect
some of the initiatives and this is what it is. Accepting the Black Lives Matter movement as a whole, it's not okay. Accepting the Black Lives Matter movement for what it is and stop police brutality is one problem we face in the African American community. But the bigger problem we face is the economic problem, the disparity. You guys do not see the cost. You only making $40,000 a year. And this is evident. But the problem is that is inclusive of Nigerian Americans, Ghanaian Americans, Jamaican Americans. That number is inclusive of foreigners, Indians, okay, anyone, people of color. That data that the country breaks down, when it says African American, Black American, it includes everything. So if your mic is on the head, if your mic is on the head, so that number, that $40,000 number is not really for the Black American community. That is inclusive of the African doctor. That is
inclusive of the African engineer. They are not Black Americans. They are Nigerian American, Ghanaian American, South African American.
They're not Black Americans. So guys, to really make impact in the Black community, you need to focus more so with the Black power and gaining control over that. And just see what we did and what we received from all of these different things. If you go to each one of these corporations, they have something on their site that says social responsibility. Go and see what initiative your favorite corporation is investing in. And I guarantee you, it is not your community. And they have not even done anything in your community. For years and years and years. So guys, over the past 20 seconds, we're going to take a quick little break.
The microphone in order, and I will be right back. Okay, guys, welcome back. So if you're just tuning in, I'm Folasade, the accountability accountant, guys. I help entrepreneurs live the life that they dream of by incorporating three things: accounting, accountability, and coaching. So segment one, guys, was fire, and I just wanted to kind of close out before we go right into segment two. So segment one, I talked about the importance of the black dollar, and that if we focus all of our efforts on building the black dollar and gaining control over how we spend the black dollar, then police brutality wouldn't be a problem of ours. Honestly, a lot of the systemic racism that we're facing right now wouldn't be a problem of ours because we would be too legit too quick. No, we will actually be in control. But before we move over to segment two, where we're talking about the B. Simone fraud, scam, plagiarism, and I'm going to give you guys a few tips and some of my story as well behind the situation that I experienced with plagiarism and everything else before then. But look, the Nielsen report, guys, specifically said, and this is what struck, I was a little hurt by this, y'all. I was like,
Oh, oh, right? Like it hit home. There's a situation for companies and consumers. It's a black consumer represent a reliable source of growth for brands, able to store an authentic connection. Let me speak that again. Black consumers represent a reliable source of growth for brands able to forge an authentic connection. I know from personal experience the influence these in consumers' world over public discourse on social media and other platforms. So African Americans hold quite a bit of leverage over companies from all industries. I will share on how brands can tap into this power to ensure they get black consumer outreach right.
but I'll be remiss if I didn't also share how consumers can exert their influence effectively and positively. Okay, so Angela Rye said, okay, you know what? Yeah, you companies can benefit from the community and benefit from African American spending and everything else, but here is how you, the black consumer, what questions you can ask. So she said, to my fellow consumers, you are a valuable and valuable consumer. Every dollar you earn is precious. What you buy, where you buy, and why you buy, it all matters. Your dollar is your influence. So before making purchases, consider these 5 questions, which Nielsen has encouraged Black consumers to ask themselves since the dawn of the Diverse series in 2011. And the 5 questions are, was I able to find this product in my neighborhood? So even a Nielsen report is saying, hey, Black people, buy from your community, buy local, stay within your community. See if this product is available locally first. Does the brand make an effort to connect with me and reflect me in my community? Do they come into the community? Everything that I just talked about, that we need to start making demands. Where is our social responsibility initiative to help our teenagers do things? I remember back in the day, companies used to sponsor our recreation center games and stuff like that. The third question, does the brand invest in my community and support causes I care about? Does the brand show a demonstrated commitment to representing my community in their ranks? And if any of the answers to these questions is no, do I still want to do business with this company? So as a Black consumer, if we were to go down these 5 questions and really ask ourselves, and if we require them to be a part of our community, then the majority of the stores and big box stores that we're purchasing from, we wouldn't even be allowed to buy from them simply because none of their social responsibility initiatives go back direct into our community. So it's true, guys. If you ever discredited the fact that the Black dollar doesn't stay into our community for longer than a minute or so, it's true. because if we're buying from these companies and these companies are never pouring back into our communities, how are we ever getting a piece of the buying power, that a piece of the pie from our buying power? We've been losing out big time. Okay. All right, guys. So post your questions. If you have any questions about the black dollar, things like that. And then hopefully I'll be back in the studio, let's say around July, so I can take your questions and everything else. And you guys can call in and we'll be back to our regularly scheduled program. But look, let's go ahead on over there to your girl. She be like, baby girl, B. Simone. Like, I really liked B. Simone prior to the plagiarism hiccup. So if you guys don't know, and you've been sleeping under a rock and you don't check the shade room and you don't check any other sites, okay, your girl B. Simone got caught up over the weekend. I think honestly though, when people are in their feelings about you, they're going to go digging. I'm going to be honest with you. And when that 9 to 5 comment rubbed millions and millions and millions of people the wrong way. So guess what they did? They was like, baby girl, I'm going to shut you down. You know how they be, right? So that's exactly what someone attempted to do. And they say, when you go seeking, you shall find, right? And guess what? They found out that B. Simone had plagiarized her book from her journal. A lot of the templates from her journal. And so it was just amazing to me, because as the accountability accountant, guys, I was hoping that, she would basically accept full responsibility for the situation and everything else. But that really wasn't the actual case. So, yeah. So come to find out, she disappeared for like 3 or 4 days and had to figure out, what exactly was going to be her angle behind it. But long story short, they showed screenshots, and let me go to the Instagram and stuff. I even had it all up. I don't even know what happened. So they even had screenshots on the shade room everywhere, on Twitter, her talking to the different creatives that she stole from, and some of the ones she settled with. Somebody else is suing her. She said it's a legal matter. But long story short, baby girl, like she said, don't get caught up in these internet streets being fakes, frauds, and phonies out here. And so this is the real lessons that I want all of us to take from this. I was actually almost in a similar situation with her. I'm a numbers person, okay? I'm an accountant. I numbers all day. So I don't write. I hate writing. So I hired a ghostwriter. But see, the difference is I hired a ghostwriter. She said she hired a designer. So I don't think that was true. Your designer takes your already developed concepts and create it from there, okay? Your ghostwriter take your outline, take your words and your conversations, and then write from there. So I hired a ghostwriter. Long story short, I hired a ghostwriter, paid them and everything, and my spirit didn't sit well. I sat on this book for literally 6 months, and as you guys know right now, I still don't have a published book out, and here's why. Remember, the Bible says, be anxious for nothing. Be anxious for nothing. And I don't know if you guys recall this, but B. Simone tracked her way to her first million publicly. And it was like an anxious thing. Oh, let me launch this. Oh, let me create this. Let me do this. I see this opportunity anxiously, right? Pushing stuff out. And the Bible says, don't be anxious for anything. Okay, so now let's spin back to me. So I sat on the book for 6 months. Literally now it's been 2 years now. So I said, you know what? Something doesn't seem right. So I took snippets out of the book and I put it in Google verbatim. The article started to come up that the ghostwriter ended up pulling snippets from my book that he was supposed to so-called write, that he pulled from other articles. At that point, I had to completely scrap my whole book project. And honestly, since then, I have not even gained the strength to finish out even the book that I'm writing right now. However, in B. Simone's case, all right, you guys have to definitely take it a bit further. Any type of published content, any type of thing that is going external outside of your team that other people will buy and purchase, you need to make sure it isn't plagiarized. You need to make sure it was done properly. But then also, this is a lesson in business that you shouldn't always rush to push things out there if you have not had the opportunity to do your checks and balance. It might look amazing to just launch product after product and just try to be rushing for the dough. But the issue is this: there's many business lessons that you could take out of this. Every company, and I just talked with one of my clients today about checking over their products as well and creating a system to review their products before they send it out to the consumer. And so what you guys are supposed to do, even if you are not in a situation like her where it's a plagiarism for a book, but it can be a project, it can be a webinar, it can be something that you give into your clients. You need to make sure and have some type of system and process in place to do your checks and balance. So your checks and balance may include perusing, doing a little audit of the book, checking and balances, copying and pasting into Google to see if things popping up, looking to see if any of these templates have already been used, or if they have been used, do you have the commercial license? And so this is another thing, guys. There are so many different type of third-party content creators where you don't even have to plagiarize anything. All you have to do is buy a commercial license, and they will allow you to put that template in your workbook or in your book. She didn't have to go about stealing it. And then also, based on her position, because she do have a lot of followers, she could have just hit them up. Hey, we're launching my manifestation book. I love this page that you have in your book here, in your workbook. Is it possible for me to buy the commercial usage of that page? See, many of you guys don't understand that it takes way more. And so this is what the shade room, guys, I should have had the comments and everything so we could have been really cracking up and having fun. Like, the comments was so crazy. The comments is like, oh, so you stayed up until 3 o'clock in the morning plagiarizing. Oh, so yeah, what, you coming back to your 9 to 5? Oh, so you had a 9 to 5 be your editor. Like, it was crazy, the comments. So the business lessons out of all of this, guys, is just stop rushing. Stop rushing and being anxious to make money. You are supposed to attract money. It's a mindset thing. You have the solution, you have the product, you have the service. Now you're supposed to attract the money. You shouldn't have to go out. And so this is another thing I'm noticing with newbie entrepreneurs. If you guys gotta constantly creating products month after month after month, where is the retention? Where is the retention? How are you retaining clients? This is the reason why B. Simone is in the situation she's in. She haven't figured out how to retain her clients. She need to create a membership or something. Get on the OnlyFans only page and create a subscription or something. Instead of having to create a product and putting yourself out there to be so, I don't want to say greedy, right? But to be so, I'm going to anxious to make money, you're going to end up anxiously get yourself in trouble just like you do. And how many of you that's watching the money journal, that are probably what the show after replay, have been anxiously trying to launch a product or service? Yes, no one is now what? No one is now good. And it's not your best. And you put it out there, and guess what? It brings you what you expect. So what you do, and the Taylor comments to tell you over, if you manifested in Wall Street, you manifested this, you manifested that, like this. And I'm not laughing like it's funny because from a business perspective, you know, we've all had our difficult days in business. Honestly, if you're a real boss, I done been through. Hers is just public. Very bad connection. Brian, they even said on Periscope that I got a bad connection. Ugh. Okay, so that was discouraging. Hopefully you guys have even heard anything that I said throughout the show, because the show content was good and everything. But the business lesson that I want all of us to take from this beast mode situation is, number one, stop being anxious to make money. You're supposed to attract it and manifest it, okay? Number two, stop launching so much. Like, you guys are worse than Walmart. Like, remember, think about it. Walmart isn't the one that's necessarily launching the new products. Walmart is the one that's connecting with other companies to launch their products. But you can't be the Walmart. Walmart have hundreds of thousands of SKUs in their stores that they're managing. And so this is another reason why so many newbie entrepreneurs never get to the level that they want to get to, is because there's no retention. They have not come up with a strategy of how to retain their clients. Okay, so after I show them this growth, how did I get them to come back? You know, you need to figure out a strategy to get your girls to come back so you can continue to make the money that you need, and you don't have to launch up just to make the million. You don't have to launch. Okay? But if you are a fashion designer, you need to launch with the season. You know what I mean? Depending on your industry, you need to launch with the seasons and the reasons, okay? Another thing. The lesson number one answer is lesson number two. Real number three now. You guys need to know how to review your product. And just because a third party did it for you, and just because a third party, you outsource it, you are still responsible for how you deliver it to the public. So yes, behind the scenes, you can sue, you know, the person that did the damage, right? The designer. But in all actuality, if they have a contract with the designer may be what's the legal word for it? Not immune. I can't think of the legal word, but immune from any issues from you pitching out your products. So in all actuality, guys, you have to come up with a review process for everything that you put out. Even me, I have to review everything. Even my team, our CPA, put together our packages and financial statements to review out to send to our clients. I review them before they send them out, and I send them back for changes about 4 to 5 times before my clients even see the financial statements, okay? So you guys have to create your own systems and processes to review things. And then last but not least, guys, you have to accept humility in business. You have to accept humility. So in this particular case, you know, that 9 to 5 comment, it didn't rub me the wrong way, because I understand her perspective on you needing a spouse that understand your lifestyle and can travel with you and be free. I get all of that. But when you get so big that it's to the point where everything you're doing seems like it's you being boastful, or you stunting, or you out here clout chasing, or whatever the case may be, right? You've lost a lot of humility. The B. Simone that we knew 8-9 months ago was very humble, okay? Very humble, you know, but very confident, still herself, but very humble. Now, God humbled her again from this situation. And I want you guys to learn something from this lesson, is that even if the moment that you think you are that big, God will shut you down publicly and privately so you can now go back and humble yourself. Sometimes you can get too big in your mind for your own good, and you start manifesting negativity and problems that come your way because you're no longer about the impact and the change. And remember, when you start these businesses, we're supposed to provide solutions. The moment that it becomes just about the dollar and no longer about the solution, you've lost humility. And then that's when most businesses end up crumbling because they've lost focus. And so what I've had to do, because I'm going on 9 years in business in August, and I'll be 35 on Sunday. So what I did, I've been feeling burnout, like tax season being extended and everything else, right? Burnout, right? The company's growing, just burnout. Hiring more staff, I'm just getting tired, right? And so it felt like, oh, I don't want to give any more content. I don't want to do any more live streams. I was one of the first live streamers out here, one of the first accounts that ever live streamed for 2 years before anybody ever did it, right? And so what I had to do was go back to the core of why I did and do everything. And so each one of us, for us to remain humble and accept humility and give clients and people the grace and to put out products with precision and accuracy, we have to remain humble and we have to stay focused on the passion and the impact that God have aligned for us and want in store for us. So a lot of these products and services that you're launching just to make money is not aligned with what God wants you to do. So what's happening is you're putting out their stuff, you're putting out products and services that's now creating problems in your business. And this is exactly what happened with her. However, if she would have just stayed focused on her comedic something, maybe put out a little comedic series or did something else, but did the exact same thing, but didn't do it anxiously, then she may have not been in the situation that she's in because she would have reviewed it, took her time. It wasn't about the money. It was about the change and the impact. So if you're watching this show and you're wondering, how did I get plagiarism, fakes and phonies into accepting your purpose and your passion, is because it's all aligned directly. The moment you lose humility, you lose focus on your impact and your purpose. And the moment your purpose and your impact is the moment you've lost your direct relationship or connection with God, and you got to go back and meditate and get back in realignment. So this is exactly why I have not been live streaming, doing any content. I had to go back to why I became an accountant, why I started live streaming, why I started to put content out. And I had to ask myself, does that align? Does those whys align with my purpose that you created for me, God? And he said, yes. So then I had to now figure out, well, why don't I want to do those things? And so the reason I'm telling you guys this and giving you guys this transparency before we close out today is that when you are a business owner, there's so much temptation to make money and to be clout chasing or to act like you big and bad and you got this and you got this and your life popping and this and that, right? Remain humble and never be anxious for nothing or anybody. And make sure you're aligned and moving forward. All right, guys. So that's about it. The show is over. So just to let you guys know, we are officially accepting sponsorships for the Money Zone. Starting in July, if you're a small business owner and you want to actually promote your business and bring just attention so you can start making some online money and really expanding your business, definitely email us at pr@accountingwithfolasade.com so you can, receive our promo packages as well. And guys, if you have any questions about what we talked about today about the Black Power, how to prevent yourselves from being in that situation like B. Simone, or how to remain humble, what I did to always get clarity, what do I do, right? Post your questions because I'm here, guys. So tonight was amazing outside of the audio, guys. So what we're going to do, tell your friends. I'm going to see you guys next week. Bye, guys. Good night.